Hello guys, I welcome you to my YouTube channel. My name is James Asma, and if today is your first time of stopping by, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment on the comment box, and also share to your friends, like the video. I want to also thank my old subscribers and those of you who have been supporting me. I'm very grateful, and I will always do my possible best to provide you with the right information regarding diversity visa program or the green card lottery. So today, as I promised in one of my videos, that I'm going to do another video talking more about the diversity visa program or the application, or talking more about the passport picture requirement or the photo requirement. Please, as I always tell you, I speak based on the research that I've gotten or the experiences that I had, and also experiences that people shared to me. I'm speaking based on those information that I've been getting from my colleagues, and also the research that I've gotten from the Department of State website. So today again, I'm going to go through with you in the Department of State website, and in this video, in the description of this video, I'm going to put the website there so that everyone can access it. But before that, let me also indicate that I'm not an expert in this thing. I'm not also an immigration lawyer. I speak based on research. I speak based on my experiences that I've gotten. People take my advices, people take the information that I provide to them, and then they are benefiting from it. So why don't you also subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then click the notification bell to always get updated anytime I upload a new video. So before, okay, so let's go straight to the video. And I'm going to share a screen. All right, so as you can see, this information is not a self-cooked information. It's directly from the Department of State website. And as I said earlier, I will put the source of this information in the description box of this video so that everyone can access it. My aim is to help people avoid mistakes that would cause them in their green card lottery application, because most of the time these are the petty mistakes that we do, and then we end up not being selected. So I'm trying my best to research and also do my possible best to make sure that my subscribers or my viewers always have the requisite information to increase their chance of winning. And most of the mistakes are coming from the photo requirement. So as you can see here, as you can see on this is the Department of State website, right? So travel.state.gov, US Department of State. So as you can see, I'm not taking this information from my own self. You can see on the search engine, travel.state.gov/content/travel, and all those information. So I'm taking this information from the Department of State website. They spell out every detail regarding the photo requirement. So, okay, so let's read this short information. Okay, I don't know whether this one is needed, but all right, so let's read the short information, what they are telling us. Okay, so this information was provided before around 2016. Starting November 1st, 2016, eyeglasses will no longer be allowed in new visa photos. And remember, these are the Department of State photo requirement, whether you're applying for a green card lottery or you want to apply for a visa, and then you need the passport photo to do the application. It's a standard photo requirement for all. So here they are talking about the visa application photos, but the same standard that they are using for the green card lottery. So, okay, so let's go and then read from here. Your photo or digital image is a vital part of your visa application. Review the example below to learn how your photo or digital image should look. We recommend you use a professional photo service to ensure your photo meets all the requirements. The acceptance of your photo or digital image is at the discretion of the US Embassy or consulate where you apply. All right, so all these sample or example of photos have met the requirement, as you can see on top written, acceptable photos, right? Acceptable photos. So these are the photos that are acceptable if you want to apply for the diversity visa program. But we'll go into details. All right, and the good thing about this website is that they also provide the photo tool that you can use to check your photo or crop your photo, right? That's the good thing about this, this website. And I always tell you that the US or the Department of State, they are always fair when it comes to their things. They're always fair. They make sure that you have the right information so that you don't have an excuse to make mistakes. So if at the end you find yourself committing mistakes, petty mistakes, you are to blame your own self and nobody. Okay, so now is it a detailed example of visa photos? Let me not waste our time to read this information because all the information here is right here. All right, so let's take a close look at this photo. As you can see, it's marked correct. It's marked acceptable. So they said this photo is acceptable, and they have categorized the photo into shadows and lighting, right? So these are the things or the items that you need to consider. You have to consider the shadows and lighting of your photo. You have to consider glasses. You have to consider glasses. You have to consider size and position of your photo. You have to consider resolution, print size, and what quality of your photo. You have to also consider digital alterations and retouching. You have to also consider pose and then expression, how you position yourself and how you express your facial expression. You have to also consider that. And you should also consider the attire or the dresses you put on the attire, whether they talk about has, and then the hair. Then another important thing that is causing a lot of people not being selected because they go to the Photoshop to take their photos and they don't know what they have done. All they need is the photo is clear and then the background is white, and so they are gone. But most of the time, there are certain things that are being done by the photographer, which you don't know, and that is the background, right? And then you should also consider if you are a married person with kids, and then you need to add their photo during the application. There are also, provision or explanation to that. So let's look at the shadows and lighting. As you can see on this photo, it said acceptable. This photo is acceptable. The reason is that photo is clear and in color. It reproduces skin tones accurately and is properly exposed with no shadows, right? So that makes this photo very acceptable. And then let's take a look at this photo too. As you can see this photo, you can see the, okay, so let's read unacceptable. Photo is underexposed, right? So if you can see physical look, if you look at it physically, you can see what is wrong with the photo. And then they went further to say the photo tip. Photos should not be overexposed or underexposed. You should adjust your camera exposure or use extra lighting, right? Okay, let's take a look at this photo again. Still under shadows and lighting, said unacceptable. Color is not accurate. As you can see, I was telling you in my previous videos that you take a good picture and then you use a photo tool to manipulate the tone, the color of your skin, and then the background. It's not acceptable. These are evidences right from the Department of State website. Is it unacceptable? Color is not accurate. And then they went further to say, photo tip. You may need to adjust your camera's white balance setting depending on the lighting, right? Most of the time, it may not be that the person used photo tool to edit it, but the settings of the camera can also cause this thing. All right, so let's look at this photo. Acceptable. Photo is clear and in color, reproduce skin tones accurately, and is properly exposed with no shadow. That makes it what? Correct. Now let's look at this photo. Still under what? Shadows and lightening. Said unacceptable. There are shadows on the face and background. As you can see clearly, you can see the shadow here, you can see the shadow here, and even part of the face. There's what? There's a shadow. You should use uniform illumination to prevent shadows on face and background. This is clear. So you must avoid all these things. So now let's go to glass. Glass. All right. So this photo, everything is correct except the glass. Is that unacceptable? Glass not allowed. Glass not allowed. So if you are, even when glasses are worn every day, you must remove your glasses for a photo, right? Some people use glasses, medicated glasses, but they are saying that even if you use it daily, on daily basis, make sure that when you want to take your picture or your photo for the purpose of applying the diversity visa program, you should do what? Remove the glass. All right, as you can see, more examples not accepted, right? Accepted because no glass in photo, right? Everything is clear. This photo, everything is good, but what? The glasses. Now let's go to sizes and position. Size and position. This is perfect. Why? Because the head is centered and the correct size, right? Photos should be 2 by 2. That is to say 51 by 51 millimeters. with the head centered at size between 1 and 1.4. That is to say 25 and 35 millimeters. Now, let's look at this photo. Still on size and position. As you can see the position of this photo of this person, you can see clearly, not accepted, because camera too close to the object. So the camera is too close to this man, right? So camera should be what? Should be at least 4 feet from subject. Head size should be between 1 and 1.4, right? So when you're going to the Photoshop to take your photos, make sure that you write these things down and then give it to them. If they are professional photographers, they know how to take this information. This information may look like the size or the dimension, the prescribed dimension for taking this kind of photo may look, confusing to you. But when you write these things and then you send it to them, they know the right thing to do. As long as they are professionals, they know the right thing to do. Now let's take a look at this photo. As you can see physically, one side is said unacceptable because head is not centered properly, right? It's very wrong. Now let's look at this photo, unaccepted because head size is too small in photo, right? So the photographer is far from the object. So that's another challenge. So you must avoid, make sure that you take the appropriate photo. Because if you do the wrong thing and then you submit your application, automatically your application will not go through automatic disqualification. So you must avoid it as possible. You must avoid all these things as much as possible. All right, so let's take a look at this photo again. As you can see, part of the head is cut off. So full head not in photo. Your entire head must be in the photo. Your entire, sorry. Okay, so your hair may extend past the boundaries of the photo as long as your entire head is shown and is the appropriate size. So all these things, you must avoid them. You must avoid them. Okay, so let's go to the resolution, print size, and what quality of the photo. So you should also consider quality of your photo. It shouldn't look blurry. Your camera quality should be recommendable, right? As you can see this lady, perfect picture, perfect photo, acceptable because photo is sharp without any visible pixels or printer dots, right? This is very perfect. And then the eyes positioned well, direct to the lens of the camera. That is the kind of photo that you should take. As long as you want to be selected. Okay, as you can see this photo, not selected because photo is blurred, right? Photo is blurred. So double check that your camera is focused before taking the photo. So this photo, as you can see, is blurred, it's not sharp, right? Then let's take a look at this photo too. Unacceptable because photo appears grainy, as you can see. So use a higher quality printer ink. So this one talks about if you want to use same photo to apply for your visa and you have to print it out, you should check your printer. All right, let's look at this photo. Unacceptable because photo is blurry. right? Said face should be in focus and without motion blur. Select a shorter exposure time or use a tripod or place camera on what? On a steady surface to eliminate camera movement. Okay, so these are the unacceptable photos that you must avoid. You must avoid all these photos, wrong dimensions. Okay, let's go to digital alteration and retouching. All right, you can see this. Okay, you can see this grandpa. Everything is perfect, but glass, right? They're unacceptable. Unacceptable. This is one of the important things that you must note. Even if you, I don't want you to trust your photographer, even if you are going to the Photoshop to take a professional photographer to take your photo. Don't trust anything. Provide him with the right information. Tell him he shouldn't crop the background. He shouldn't use any photo editing tool to crop the background. As we can see this photo, right? If this man should go to Photoshop and they do this and then send it to him, it looked perfect, but there's something hidden. The background is not the actual background, it's edited, it's replaced using a photo editing tool to crop the background. So the actual white background is not this one. They have replaced it. So unacceptable. Background is cropped out using a photo retouching tool, altering the outline of the head, right? So if you look the head, if you look on the actual picture, you will realize that it's been like they've used a photo tool to cut it and then place it, right? So all these things should be should be avoided. You should avoid all these things. Take your photo in front of a white or off-white background instead of cropping out the background. You should avoid all these things. You see this perfect image has not been digitally altered. You can see this one again. This one is altered. Image has been digitally altered to appear thinner. As you can see, the head look tall. So it means that they have manipulated it. This picture has been manipulated. It has been altered. They've using a photo tool to work on this photo. And so it's not acceptable. Do not digitally alter the shape of your head or face, right? Okay, let's take a look at this photo. You see the flashlight, sometimes your eyes, they say there sometimes be a reflection from your eye when the photo has a flashlight. So you see this image has red eye. So this red eye is as a result of a reflection or a flashlight from the camera that took this picture. All right, so let's read the tips. He said, retake a photo that does not include red eye. You cannot digitally retouch an image to remove the red eye. So all these things, you should avoid them. Avoid them, my dear. All right, so let's look at this photo. We are talking about posh and expression. Is it acceptable? Why? Because applicant is directly facing camera with a neutral expression. Eyes are clearly visible. I told you on my previous video that your eye, the eyeball, is very, very important. You should look straight to the camera with your eyes open, neutral expression, so that your eyeball can be scanned by the machines. All right? Okay, you see this angle? Unacceptable picture because applicant is looking down, head is tilted forward. So the tips, you should sit or stand straight, face the camera, and look straight ahead. Let's look at this anti. You see, unacceptable because, as you can see, facial expression is not neutral. We prefer a neutral facial expression, but the natural smile is always acceptable. You see this, brother? Right? Head is tilted backward, which shouldn't be so. You should sit or stand straight and directly face the camera. You see this anti-perfect, perfect picture because applicant has a neutral smile, our natural smile. You can see the sister, the head position is very wrong. Sorry. Right? There's another wrong position, wrong expression. Head is rotated. Shoulders are not square at the camera. Your head and shoulders should directly face the camera, right? Now let's look at this auntie. This auntie has closed the eyes. The machine can scan the eyeball. Everything is perfect, but the eyes are closed, right? Which is wrong. So these are some of the things that I've been telling you. Your photo alone can increase your chance of being selected. Your photo, the kind of photo that you use to apply for the diversity visa program is the only thing that can increase your chance of being selected. Else, you will not even go through the first selection. All right, so let's go to attire. Your attire, as you can see, this is a Muslim girl. So my Muslim sisters, you are free to wear hijab, right? You are free to wear hijab, but there are rules. When you are if you want to wear hijab, there are rules that you must follow. Let's read the instructions. Acceptable. Why? Because subject's full face is visible. No shadows or clothing obscure the face. Now, let's read. Okay, you may not wear hats or head coverings except for religious or medical purpose and with a sign statement, right? Okay, same person, but wrong word. A same person, but this time round, he wore the hijab wrongly. Unacceptable because head clothing covers part of the face. There are shadows or on the face. Now, adjust your head covering so that your entire face is visible and free of shadows. Head covering are only acceptable for religious or medical purpose, and you must submit a signed statement with your application, right? Okay. Now, let's look at this to those of you who will be applying with your couple and then your spouse. You are required to also take pictures of them, each of them. Even if it's 1 year old baby that you have, you must take a photograph of the 1 year old baby. All right, so let's look at this. Unacceptable because an object obscure a portion of the face. The child's full face must be visible. Let's take a look at this one. Unacceptable. Why? Because that just covers portion of her face. Adjust your attire so that your entire face is visible. All right, so let's look at this one too. Perfect picture, but the heart spoiled everything. Uncle, you see, the hair, everything is perfect, but the hair has covered part of the face, making it unacceptable. Now let's look at the background. Let's look at the background. Acceptable because background is uniform, plain, and white or off-white, and free of what? Shadows. This is another very important aspect of the photos that you must consider. Your background must be white and very what? Uniform, right? It should be uniform. All right, so let's look at this one. If you can see this picture very clearly, you will see that the photo is not what? It's not plain. The background is not plain. Everything is perfect. Face or head well positioned. Eyes looking straight on the lens of the camera. Correct. Attire, like everything perfect, but the background is not plain. So the background should be what? Should be uniform, plain and white or off-white and free of shadows. Let's look at this angle. Unacceptable. Background is not white or off-white. The background should be what? Uniform, plain and white or off-white and free of shadows. So is this type of photos is not what? Acceptable. As you can see, wrong background. Very wrong background. Correct background, uniform, plain and white. As you can see, this is a wrong background, and even the hand of the mother has taken portion of the baby's head, which is very wrong. Now, to those of you who will be applying with your spouse, take a good look at this picture. This baby, this picture is acceptable. Why? Because no other person is in the photo. The child is facing the camera with his eyes open. I told you, your eyes must open. Okay. It is acceptable if the infant's eyes, particularly a newborn, are not entirely open. So it's acceptable. Mostly, if it's a new baby, mostly they don't usually open their eyes. And so it's acceptable. It's acceptable. All right. You see, if you look at the face, you will realize that there is a shadow. There's some kind of shadow on the face, so you must avoid that. Perfect picture, because child is facing forward with correct lighting and acceptable facial expression. You can see on this picture, unacceptable. Child is not facing the front and neutral expression. There's no neutral expression. As you can see on this, perfect, because photo is clear with the child facing forward and looking at the camera. You see, this is very wrong. It's very wrong. Exaggerated facial expression. Perfect. Perfect. No other person is in the camera, in the photo. And child is facing the camera with his eyes open. Wrong photo. Because object obscures portion of the face, right? So you must avoid all these things, especially when you are the principal applicant. You have to avoid all these things. All right. So before we end this video, I want to believe you have learned something new. You have learned the passport or the photo requirement for the green card lottery is very, very important if you want to have high chance of being selected, because like majority of applicants will fail in this stage. Majority. You should know where chain. All right, so now let's assume that you have gone to the Photoshop to take your picture, or you've taken your photo yourself. You've taken your photo yourself, and then you want to crop it. You want to crop it yourself. Same website, they have given a provision where you can crop your photo to meet the standard of the US photo dimension. All right, so same place, if you come here, you will see already have a photo. Is a question, do you already have a photo? Now let's try to see whether we'll be able to crop it. So you come here and then you click on the photo tool. It's a link, so you click on the photo tool. But before we click on the photo tool, let's read the caption or the information there. Use our photo tool to upload your photo and crop it so it is the right size. Compare your photo with examples of good photos. Note, this tool is intended for cropping your photo only, right? After you apply, a US Department of State employee will review your photo and reduce and decide if we can accept your photo. So now they are still talking about the when you are applying for the visa, US visa, and then the photo, there are some place that you will need to print out your photo or take your photo in the process of applying the visa. So because of that, you can still use this information or this requirement to be able to do that. All right, so let's click on the link to see what is there. All right, so this is just it. So if you are able to follow strictly the rules given to you from their website, you have no problem. You have no problem. Okay, my network seems to be slow, but okay. All right, so, all right. Okay, so basic examples. So these are the basic examples. As you can see, these are the correct photos that one can have and be sure of going through the process of being selected for the green card lottery. All right, and here again, they have given you more examples, right? If you click here, you see what you need to do and what you need not to do, right? You see what you need to do and what you need not to do. Click here, but these are same thing that we have gone through. So if you come here, you see that choose a photo to begin. So now, this is when you've gotten your photo, you've taken your photo, and then you've now transferred it to your PC or transfer it to your phone. You can still use phone to do this. So if you transfer it to your phone, you can use this website. As you can see here, there's a Department of State logo, and then there's their site, travel.state.gov. I will put the site or the source of this information on the description of this video so that you can access it. All right, so you come and then select here. You come and then select here, you click here. When you click, it will send you to your file or your information where you can access the photo that you have already transferred to your what? To your, I pray I get, okay, all right. So now, this is the photo I used to apply last 2 years. That's DV 2021. I used this photo to apply DV 2021. As you can see, all right, let's see what happens. It said, your photo does not need cropping, right? So this one was already cropped, so that's why. So you see, it said the photo dimensions are 600 by 600 pixels. So as you can see, these are evidence of what I've been telling you about. These are evidence. So this photo was already cropped. I cropped it, but this photo have an issue, which I will talk in one of the videos. I still have the photos that I've used to apply 3 times, and then I'll tell you the problems of each photo until last year when I used the correct photo, and then boom. All right. So you can see that your photo does not need, so when you apply this photo tool, which is recommended by the US Department of State, and your photo dimension is accurate, then the site will tell you, the app will tell you that is what your photo does not need cropping. Photo dimensions are 600 by 600. All right, so I hope you have enjoyed this video. You have learned something new, and I believe you are going to apply this information come October. If you have any issue, please go to the comment box and then comment any video or any information, any topic you want me to cover. Please go to the comment box and then type in the areas that you want me to cover, and I'll do exactly what you want me to do, because I just want you to know the right thing. I want to provide you with the right information so that next year we will have a lot of testimonies. This year I have few testimony, and even though it's good to give me the courage to do this more. But next year, please, I want you to do the right thing so that we'll have the right the right information and increase our chance of winning the diversity visa lottery. So before I end, thank you, viewers. Thank you for those of you who have been encouraging me, who have been sharing my videos, who have been, inviting people to, to be part of this journey. Please, I thank you. I just want to say thank you so that you multiply the tank to yourself. And to those of you who are new here, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the notification bell to always get updated. This is the only way that you can motivate me to do more video and then give you a revealing information regarding the diversity visa program. All right. So, having been said, I'll end with you here. Meanwhile, I will do another video, as I told you again, to talk more about the photo requirement. But this time, I'm going to talk. I'm going to do a video to talk about the trade time that I've applied and the photos that I use to apply those in the previous years. All right, so until we meet again, bye-bye.